In this video lesson, we'll be covering a nurse care plan for the nursing diagnosis of risk for impaired thermoregulation. We'll cover its definition, defining characteristics, related factors, expected outcomes, ongoing assessments, and therapeutic interventions. By the end of this session, you'll have a clear framework for managing risk for impaired thermoregulation. Vital Nursing 101, your ultimate guide to nursing success. Definition. So what exactly does risk for impaired thermoregulation mean? It means that a patient is at risk of failure to maintain body temperature within the normal range. This may occur in response to internal or external factors that disrupt the body's ability to regulate temperature, leading to potential complications such as hyperthermia, hypothermia, or febrile conditions. It is typically used when a patient does not currently have thermoregulation issues, but is at high risk due to certain risk factors. Common related factors. Risk for impaired thermoregulation may arise from several factors, including environmental factors, physiological conditions, medications, activity level, and other risk factors. Let's talk more about the environmental factors. Environmental factors include the following: exposure to extreme temperatures like heat waves or cold environments, and inadequate shelter or clothing. Physiological conditions include age-related changes such as in neonates or elderly patients who have a reduced ability to regulate body temperature. Underlying conditions such as hypothyroidism, burns, sepsis, or neurological impairments that disrupt thermoregulation are also significant. Medications such as diuretics, sedatives, or anesthetics can interfere with thermoregulatory mechanisms. Activity level is another factor, with prolonged immobility or excessive physical exertion leading to heat production or heat loss. Other risk factors include dehydration, malnutrition, or surgical procedures affecting thermoregulatory centers. Defining characteristics. While this is a risk diagnosis and does not present with existing symptoms, early indicators of impaired thermoregulation to monitor include hypothermia indicators, hyperthermia indicators, behavioral changes, and laboratory and clinical signs. Hypothermia indicators include shivering, pallor, cold extremities, confusion, and decreased heart rate. Hyperthermia. Indicators are elevated body temperature, sweating, flushed skin, and increased heart rate or respiratory rate. Behavioral changes might be altered mental status, such as confusion, lethargy, or agitation. Laboratory and clinical signs include abnormal vital signs or lab values indicative of dehydration, infection, or hormonal imbalances. Common expected outcomes. Patients at risk for impaired thermoregulation should achieve the following outcomes: maintenance of normal body temperature, improved knowledge, prevention of complications, and stable vital signs. Maintenance of normal body temperature. Core temperature remains between 36.5 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius, or 97.7 degrees Fahrenheit to 99.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Improved knowledge. Patient and caregivers understand risk factors and preventive strategies for thermoregulation. Prevention of complications. Absence of complications such as hypothermia, hyperthermia, or heat stroke. Stable vital signs. Heart rate, respiratory rate, and blood pressure remain within normal limits. Ongoing assessments. Here we will go over the ongoing nursing actions and why they are done. Monitor body temperature regularly. Frequent temperature checks allow early detection of deviations from normal and timely interventions. Assess skin condition and capillary refill. Skin integrity and peripheral perfusion provide clues about circulatory adequacy and thermoregulation effectiveness. Evaluate environmental conditions. Identifying environmental contributors, such as room temperature or humidity, helps tailor preventive measures to minimize risk. Now let's go over therapeutic nursing actions and why they are done. Maintain a comfortable environment. Adjust room temperature to ensure a thermoneutral zone, which is between 20 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius, or 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. This prevents exposure to environmental extremes that could cause temperature fluctuations. Promote adequate hydration. Encourage oral or IV fluid intake as appropriate. Adequate hydration supports sweat production and thermoregulation by enhancing circulatory efficiency. Educate the patient and family. Teach signs and symptoms of thermoregulatory disturbances and how to respond. This increases self-efficacy and ensures timely recognition and management of temperature changes. Risk for impaired thermoregulation is a critical diagnosis that requires a proactive and comprehensive nursing approach. By understanding common related factors, recognizing defining characteristics, and implementing evidence-based assessments and interventions, nurses can prevent complications and promote optimal patient outcomes. Alright, well, that ends this nursing review. If you found this video useful, leave a like and a comment so we can continue to make more videos like this. Also, if you have any study tips, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you.